think. Is it 8:16? Yeah, it's 8:16. Hi, everybody. I am the Dr. Jekyll to the Mrs. Hyde. In case you watched the previous video and you're like, what the hell is going on in there? I wanted to do a couple of kind of my notes for today, which would be voice training day number 2. And again, this is not going to be a training video. I'm not going to tell you how to do anything, train your voice, that kind of stuff. There's just too many other videos that are probably better than I could even get close to doing and whatnot. But I do want to show, or I do want to share some of my discoveries here. And I actually, throughout the day, I wrote them down on this little pad. I spent my day today kind of making my own little notes and drawings and everything. So I figured out where I'm starting from. If you want to know, my voice is C3, which is 134 hertz. That's C3. C3, yeah, that's what it's telling me. And the phone wouldn't lie, would it? My goal, okay, is to get up to there, A3. Bingo. Oops. Yeah, A3. That's my goal. Okay. And kind of determine that today, that's something that's sustainable, that's something that my throat can do without straining itself. Although right now, it hurts for me to talk this way, and probably would hurt for me to talk the other way. I'm getting it from both sides here. So I'm drinking lots of hot tea or warm tea and whatnot. But anyway, so these are just some things that I learned today that I want to share. When I got out of bed, one of the things you try to do is adjust your airflow that comes out of your mouth. Generally speaking, guys have this projection, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of pressure pushing, your voice out. And generally speaking, on average, women have a lower pressure. And so what I noticed this morning when I got out of bed, and a microphone may not pick it up because it'll be really quiet, but I rolled out of bed, and there was one of my cats sitting in my chair. And I just leaned over and I said, I'm going to try and do it now, but it may hurt my voice. I said, good morning. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Okay. And that is, what you want to do. You want to, well, again, sorry, I apologize. Take that back. Don't hold me to that. You do what you want to do. This is what I want to do, okay? I want to adjust my airflow so that I'm almost like a whisper, So like I said this morning when I got out of bed, it's kind of what I did. And then throughout my day, I kind of did the same kind of thing. Now, obviously, this tone, I guess we could look at the computer here. Are you still picking me up, phone? Maybe? Hello? Did you go to sleep? Maybe it did. Oh, it's loading again. All right, what am I coming in at? You tell me. All right, I'm still coming in at D3, 125 hertz, 120 hertz. Anyway, so if I try to, again, talk with that lower pressure and I say, good morning, good morning. Well, that's still that's 133 hertz. It's still pretty low, but I'm not concerned about pitch. I'm just concerned about that pressure because generally speaking, women don't have that pressure. So what I was thinking was my note my note to share with you is that if, as part of this process, you come across a way of, I'm going to say, tricking your mind, like I said, the first thing out of my mouth this morning was, let me see if I can get it in the right pitch. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. A3, 224 hertz. That's my goal. That was like in my head, like a bookmark, if you will, that I have made a stamp in my brain that's the pitch I want, where I want to come into my world in the morning. And then that's also the amount of air pressure that I want to have. If I can train my mind to have that, like I said, if I can imprint that on my brain, and then when I wake up, it's like it's a shortcut. I just go to it, and it's there. It's kind of like a segue into where I want to be. And in the case of saying good morning, and I do apologize, my voice is very tired right now, but as I went about my day and I would see people in my office, I tried to do the same exact thing. I tried to have that tone, or pitch rather, but also that air pressure. It was a cue, in a way, like I said, kind of like a segue to go right where I wanted to be. And then I got used to saying it to other people, which, assuming you go out into the world every day or whatnot and you see other people, that's probably a good habit to get into, just saying good morning. In whatever your voice is, not my voice, but your voice. Like I said, for me, it's that A3. But anyway, the second thing that happened to me today, I was going down to our lobby where our tea and our coffee is, and it seemed like every time I rode down, I rode back up with somebody, someone that I had never seen before, probably will not see again, and if I do, they won't remember me, I won't remember them. So I had a perfect guinea pig step into the elevator, a test subject to come along with me, that I could say good morning to, and actually have like a real person as opposed to just talking to the wall or something. And they might say something back to me, oh, good morning to you, or something, and then as they left the elevator, they were like gone out the door, I would say something like, have a nice day, or something. Okay. And again, for me, I feel like I'm going to be nervous, and This is me acclimating myself to speaking the way that I want to sound around people. And like I said, they don't care. They're probably not going to see me again. They won't remember me. So like I said, the elevator chat was just a way to try things out, and if it didn't work out, they were going to get off the elevator in 30 seconds anyway, and it was a wash. It was a test. It was a bad, it was a scrubbed mission. So so there we have that there. And then I have written down compromise. What does that mean, compromise, in this case? Oh, in my case, okay. Remember how when you transitioned, assuming you transitioned, you like worked yourself into it? Maybe you let your hair grow, pardon me for the trans woman assumption, but maybe for a while you wore non-gender specific clothes because you were transitioning while you're, maybe while your body was playing catch up or whatnot, if you were on hormones, or just again, you were doing the laser treatment or, electrolysis or something, and you were kind of in that pupa stage, you're not a butterfly yet. You're changing on a slow pace. Okay. This is in the way that is kind of that middle ground or compromise. Um, you know, I feel somewhat like that's what I'm doing right now, particularly here around the house. Um, you know, there's six or so things I'm trying to do, like the vocal pressure and the pitch and the resonance and all that, blah blah blah. But you know, maybe I don't do pitch because it annoys somebody, and I want to um, try to be accommodating. So maybe I work on my pressure, okay? Or maybe I work on my the rhythm in my sentences. You know, you don't. I guess what I'm saying for me, I'll take you out of it. Um, I can work on other aspects of this without going full blown into it. You know, which is something you may find, particularly if you do work with other people. Some of the exercises in here is that I'm doing is related to humming and trying to hum in your nose, okay, as opposed to in your throat or, you know, down here. You want to hum in your nose, okay? And I'm sitting there at work, you know, humming in my nose, okay? So it's kind of a compromise. You don't have to do everything at once, I guess, is that. The other thing I have here is tea at work or coffee, a warm beverage. Yeah, I've been drinking coffee all day long, just or tea rather, excuse me, just to keep my throat moist and a little warm, um, because it hurts. I mean, it will hurt. It does hurt. I also have a lot of mucus if you want to know all the information because my throat's like saying, "What in the heck are you doing to me, crazy person?" The other thing I was going to say, this was another a note I wrote down. Head talk. You know, like today, it would hurt me to speak. Okay, I think I'm going to call it my proper voice. Okay, my feminine voice, my proper voice. You know, it would hurt me. So in my head, okay, as I'm sitting there, you know, they say in sports, I'm sorry for the shift here, but, you know, there's an exercise like basketball where the player will visualize shooting and making the basket. And in their mind, they're preparing themselves to go through the motions. What do I need to do for my layup? You know, and it's something visualizations. This is very similar, but it's audio related. Okay, so and it's the same kind of thing. If you were in band, in school or whatnot, or if you're currently a musician, um, you know, it's the same thing as when you finger. Um, you don't blow into your instrument, but you're practicing which, you know, keys you need to hold down and whatnot. Um, you know, it's that same kind of thing. You're working on creating muscle memory, and you know, in my head, okay, I'm hearing that tone in my head, and so, you know, as I'm sitting in my cube and no one's talking to me, I'm having this conversation with myself in that tone in my head, and it's like I'm stretching my muscles and whatnot, and maybe I'm hurting myself when I do that, but again, it was the kind of thing that, you know, there are times I'm not going to be able to practice or whatnot, but I can sit there and, you know, do the different things so that I can practice. And I guess the last note that I wrote down here is it says simplify, allow for recharge. You know, seeing as how what a tremendous task this is, okay, the scope of what you're going to try and do if you're doing it, or me, what I'm trying to do. Excuse me, I need to wet my whistle. You know, it kind of helps to simplify. And I'll give you an example from my life. I have 2 D&D games going right now. And, you know, I thought about it, and here I am trying to DM a game and be all these NPCs and run and talk. I'm going to be putting a lot of stress on my voice when probably it needs to rest, you know. So it's like, okay, well, maybe I can stop doing one of my games or both because I need that time to heal. I need that time, you know. Now may not be the best time to try and be in a relationship with somebody, you know, like just what can we do to simplify a little bit our lives and to allow for that recharge time, because man, I'm telling you, I mean, it feels great when you do it. I mean, last night, oh golly, I was, after the video, if you couldn't tell, I was on cloud 9. I mean, I was on cloud 9. I was Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. You know, I could have danced all night. I could have danced and still had time for more. You have that adrenaline and excitement and everything going. Um, you know, but you need time to recharge. And then today, I had a chance to listen to, you know, that other video, and, you know, I'm listening to it and I'm critiquing myself and saying, okay, you could do this better. You could modulate your tone. You know, how women tend to end sentences on an upstroke, you know, on a curve. And I was speaking monotone or something, you know, there's a lot of little things that I can do. Kind of like right now I'm taking and I'm resonating a lot because I've a lot of mucus and everything. But, you know, and then I heard the other voice and I'm like, oh, that's just terrible, you know. But when, you know, I'm in my zone, and let's say I've warmed up my voice, and you know, while I'm driving to work or coming home, I'm singing and trying different things and whatever I can remember to do exercise wise. And I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh, it stinks getting old, but everybody's doing it. Darn it. Let's go on. See if I can remember here. Simplify. I can't remember. Golly, I hope there's room at the old folks' home for me. So I'll be there before you know it. Well, poop. That was kind of my video. Felt really good. Oh, kind of. Sorry. Really tired today. The voice is different. I can tell the difference. Oh, you know, it's weird to like, okay, you've heard the tone, right? What I'm shooting for, A3. Okay, what, 220? 220 hertz. I'm also can go for a G sharp. I'll accept a G sharp at 208 hertz. Okay, but it's like you can hear, you know, a trace of what I did last night. Okay, compared to this voice, this monotone, and I'm gonna say male voice. I really am, but I think I'm a little higher than whatever now, and I'm resonating. Maybe not, but anyway, you know, once you know what's possible, and then you look at what you used to have, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got to do this because this sounds so much better than this, you know. So I was very, very appreciative. And the other thing, when I listened to the YouTube video, is I was like, what doesn't sound so good? And then I got up and I went to the bathroom, and I was in the women's room, and like as soon as I had the door shut behind me, I was gabbing in, you know, my proper voice. And I was like, I didn't think it was that bad. Did you? It sounded okay. I mean, I can do some things to improve, you know, but it's not that bad, you know. And you know, this process is crazy. I mean, you know, hmm. I mean, it is, man. But anyway, so I guess that's all I've got on my little notepad, and I'll give myself some time here to recoup and not, not overdo it. And I think that's a big thing too. I may have overdone it because I was excited. You know, if you give a kid a carton of ice cream, they're gonna eat it. You know what I mean? You can't eat just one, right? Potato chip. And when you get into that groove and you're talking and you're excited and um, yeah, it's hard to say. Wait a minute, you know, don't burn yourself out because it's going to take twice as long for your this to heal that you can do it again. Um, you know what I mean? So anyway, on that note, I do appreciate letting me share with you, and we'll kind of see. I don't really have anything else. Uh, so on that note, I think I will sign off and wish you the best of luck in becoming your authentic self. You may get 5 minutes in heaven with Karen at some point. She's recharging right now. Her batteries are down. And the other thing too and then I'll end on that, is you know today, last night, today, you know I started to think of myself as Karen, whereas before I kind of differentiated the two. As I am trying to find my voice, you know, I'm not going to say we're intersecting and becoming, one person, but, maybe in the past where I don't know, whatever I did up here to keep myself sane, it's nice to think about, you know, being one person and, kind of like I said the other day or yesterday, I guess, about having all the emotes. If you were playing World of Warcraft and your friends had all these really cool emotes they were doing, and you just had a very basic one that didn't do much. Um, that's kind of how I view where I'm going. Is it's letting me, number one, it's giving me the freedom, and this is something that Dawn, my friend, wrote about, the freedom to, what did she say, nature and nurture. Developing your female self, your voice. Okay. Um, that there's, I don't know. I've kept myself contained, and maybe that's why I haven't been happy for. I mean, I've been happy, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? 8 out of 10 for 4 years. You'd be like, oh, well, I won't do the voice now, but oh, you had your surgery and you transitioned and you should be happy and blah 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 blah. And I've kind of like been, not really. And I think because I kept I've been keeping a big chunk of myself on hold, you know. And the other thing, man, I'm sorry, I keep having like postscripts, PSS, PSSS, and now it's gone. Oh, I hate that. Mm. Don't get old. No, we need to get old. Um, be who you want to be. Having all the tools in your toolbox. Being the woman, da 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 da. And blah. Well, we'll just leave it at that, I guess. Fill in the blank. Again, thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck in becoming your authentic self as you define it. Till next time, bye bye. Good luck.